Hey guys, you're watching MattTheMusketeer, and that introduction was probably just a little bit too hectic, maybe a little bit too intense, but tell me in the comment section below if you did enjoy that. Recently, I've been trying to mix up my introductions a bit, change them up a little, make them a little bit more interesting, so if you've been enjoying that, please tell me in the comment section below. Now today's video is actually going to be a catch-up commentary. It's been a little while since I did one of these with the release of Endgame and then all the trailers and the hype for Battlefield 4, which I've been covering. It's been a while since I've been able to put together a commentary and just, you know, shoot the shit with you guys. Now with the release of the Battlefield 4 trailer, I actually think I was the first person on YouTube to get some kind of first thoughts and reaction video up from that. I actually got up at 5:30 in the morning to watch that trailer be released, and I watched all 17 minutes of it and then kind of gathered my first thoughts and put them together in a video, which went live about an hour after the trailer was initially released, and it also then went live on Pixel Enemy. But because of the NDA rules, which I was unaware of at the time, I had to make that video private again, and then there was a lot of confusion between YouTubers of what we could and couldn't show on YouTube. So those videos have kind of gone public and gone private quite a few times, but they are public again now, so if you haven't seen my Battlefield 4 videos, go and check them out on my channel page, give me a comment and a like and all that stuff. It does help me out a lot. Now before we move on, I just want to explain the gameplay that you're seeing here is actually a game called Battlefield 3. Some of you guys might remember this game, maybe not, you know, with all the hype and the information about Battlefield 4. Some of you might have even forgotten this game actually existed, but I'm actually playing here Conquest on Noshal Canals, and the reason I'm doing that is all to do with what I spoke about in one of my previous videos, the whole idea of trying to drag out and extend the longevity of the playtime for Battlefield 3 by using weapons and playing maps and game types that I never normally play. Now I have never ever taken part seriously within the kind of Noshal Canals Conquest scene, so I've started doing that recently and I actually had quite a few good games with it, so you know, I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay that I'm busting out for you today. Now, one of the first things that I actually want to speak to you guys about is something that a lot of people came to me and asked after seeing the Battlefield 4 trailer, and they were saying, will I need to upgrade for Battlefield 4 or will I need to buy a new graphics card? Now, so far we haven't been showing the stats or any kind of the information that will be needed to run Battlefield 4 on PC, but we can make a few speculations and guesses by looking at the gameplay that we've been shown so far. So what I'm about to tell you now is, you know, to be taken with a pinch of salt. It's just my kind of guesstimation and my opinion. Now, from what we've seen of Battlefield 4 so far, I actually think if you can play Battlefield 3 currently on PC, you know, in high to medium settings with over 60 frames a second, I don't think you will need to upgrade your card, at least for Battlefield 4. Now, obviously, it may not run quite as smooth as you do with Battlefield 3, you might not get quite the same performance, but from what we've seen of Battlefield 4 so far, graphically it doesn't look that much different and that much more demanding than Battlefield 3. Now of course there is the new Frostbite 3 engine, but unlike the transition between Frostbite 1 and Frostbite 2, Frostbite 3 isn't a complete new rebuild from the ground up as we saw with Frostbite 2. So I don't think it's going to be that much more demanding of your PC. I think it's just going to be a lot more of a smoother engine, and it's going to obviously have things like improved destruction and stuff like that. So far from what we've seen, I'm going to go out and say that I don't think you're going to need new kind of specs and PC parts to play Battlefield 4 successfully. That is, if you can already play Battlefield 3 at quite high settings. I think a lot of people are starting to panic and think they need to buy some kind of GTX 690 or GTX Titan to be able to play the next Battlefield in the series. Now recently I did actually get a chance to play with a GTX Titan. I did get my hands on one of those, and I was going to do some kind of becoming a PC gamer episode where I take a look at that. But I've decided not to do that because I think it segregates my subscription base quite a lot. I know a lot of you guys don't play on the PC, so that kind of video wouldn't be any use to you. But I will say a few things. When I was playing with it, I was quite interested to learn that the GTX Titan actually isn't as fast as the GTX 690. Now, of course, there are a lot of pros of the GTX Titan over the 690, but for the cost of that kind of thing, it seems like it's not actually quite worth the money. I have had quite a few people say to me, should I buy a GTX Titan or should I buy a 690? Now, for the cost of a GTX Titan, I really could not recommend one of those things. They are so expensive, and for the amount of cons that that kind of card has for that kind of price, so far I would really not recommend buying a GTX Titan. Now, moving on, the last thing that I want to speak to you guys about today is actually the events that took place in Stockholm and in San Francisco. Now, we all knew that EA were going to invite a lot of YouTubers to the event, but it seems now that they actually invited quite a lot of Call of Duty YouTubers to the event, which quite obviously and understandably pissed off a lot of the Battlefield community. Now in San Francisco, the likes of Woody's Gamertag attended the event, and in Stockholm, the English YouTuber Syndicate attended the event, who plays nothing but zombies and things like Minecraft. Now recently, rumours have started saying that EA have started paying Call of Duty YouTubers to play Battlefield to try and draw in the Call of Duty audience. Now, I'm not saying that these rumours are true, but the evidence to support these rumours is pretty blatant and obvious. For example, Syndicate, as I said, who plays a lot of Minecraft and zombies, recently, with the release of Endgame, did about 5 Endgame videos in the space of like 4 days, which is a lot to say he never normally covers much Battlefield. I mean, he did some close quarters in the past and stuff like that, but, you know, Battlefield isn't normally on his rota of videos to do. And also, Woody's Gamertag did a video explaining why he's actually not very good at Battlefield, so it seems like he was, you know, trying to get some Battlefield content out there, and actually Levelcat approached him and, you know, in the comments was saying, I can help you get better at this game. So the evidence to support these rumours is pretty obvious. It's pretty there that people are saying that, you know, these YouTubers are being paid by EA to try and bring across their audience to the Battlefield series. And obviously by inviting these guys to the event, that does also support these rumours. Now, I personally had no issue with all of the Call of Duty commentators who came to the event. Maybe I'd have liked to see just a few more Battlefield commentators at the event who dedicate their time and videos to Battlefield 3. But at the same time, I do love Battlefield and I want to see it outsell the Call of Duty series. So bringing across the Call of Duty fan base is something that I think would be, you know, good for the series and help it outgrow and outsell the Call of Duty series. But at the same time, there's this real stigma attached to Call of Duty players who move across the battlefield. You know, people say they play like faggots and they do this and they camp and they do that. Now, originally, you've got to remember that I was a Call of Duty player a long time ago, but I moved across from Call of Duty to Bad Company 2. So I think after a while, a lot of people can learn to, you know, play the Battlefield style and, you know, move away from Call of Duty tactics and play styles. And I think it's something that I'd like to see happen because, as I said, I want to see Battlefield outsell and outgrow the Call of Duty series. But in the comment section below, I want to hear from you. What do you think about it? Do you not like seeing Call of Duty players move across to Battlefield? Do you think Battlefield should stay dedicated to its own fans? And what was your opinion on the way that EA treated the people at the event? You know, the way they organised it and, you know, who they did and who they did not invite to the event. So in the comment section below, I want to hear from you guys. Tell me what you did think. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up. It does help me out a lot. Stay tuned, guys. I have some giveaways coming up soon, some pretty exciting giveaways actually, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.